What I hate about modern Reddit is that it's impossible to ask a question or have a discussion, either because the mods have made really stupid rules, or the only people in the community have terminally online brain rot since all the sane people left. So what I wanted to do was just ask a question about Minecraft. What is the current meta for Vanilla Plus? Because I watch a good amount of Minecraft videos, YouTube keeps recommending me, and I can't get enough, and these are incredibly popular. Now, I don't really care about the hardcore gimmick, but I like seeing mega projects and mega farms, so that's pretty cool, and there's a lot of different challenges and creators that I've been recommended, so I've seen all kinds of stuff. And what I wanted to do was understand, like, okay, I'm not super in the Minecraft community and not crazy active, so what is acceptable? Where is Vanilla Plus right now? Because Wunba actually uses a couple of different mods, and I kind of make note of that because he has build templates. Well, that's not vanilla, and, to me, it kind of takes away a little bit of the feat, but it also isn't, like, game-breaking or game-ruining, so, like, yeah, if everyone's on the same page with that, I should pick up build templates and use it. But then there's also some really broken stuff like item scroller. I don't care if your project needs, like, 100,000 of a crafted item. Item scroller, like, really diminishes that. And then there's, like, some other things I've seen where people use dupes. If you use a TNT duper, I don't care about your project at all. I don't care if it's for a world eater. Same thing with, like, string duping. It's like, the community seems way more acceptable of dupes and cheating like that. But I also want to see, like, okay, but where is the line on other stuff? So I commented in Minecraft Hardcore, and I also commented in Feed the Beast, because we have the modding community, we also have the hardcore community, and there's really no other Reddit I could find to post this, because the Minecraft Reddit has some of the stupidest rules I've ever seen. Like, ban topics. I was thinking, okay, so I can post this question, this very Minecraft community-oriented question on the Minecraft Reddit, right? No. Questioning whether something in your game constitutes cheating or not. So there's no place to discuss with the Minecraft community what is acceptable or where the meta is. Which I guess is great as a creator, because then you can just make up your own rules, be assertive enough, and then people are going to believe it. But you can't ask, is this cheating? Whether it's a gameplay style, exploiting a bug glitch, and that's another thing that has me really upset, because you can't question the people that are exploiting bugs and glitches and dupes. And that's also another reason why the community seems pretty on board with it, because you're not allowed to question or have any discussion about it. Also, as we've seen in the Pokemon community, everyone's a brat that just wants to be entitled to cheating and they still, like, want to pretend they have accomplishment or something. So that's kind of weird. Using commands, specific game rules, and installing a mod or data pack, resource pack, or any form of additional content that deviates from absolute vanilla that affects gameplay in any way. Well, that's also, like, another weird part, because, like, absolute vanilla that affects the game in any way. So you can't talk about shaders and Optifine or anything like that. So the corporatization of Reddit is also where, like, the mods get bought out, or in the company of that game or something just ends up having absolute control. So, like, nope, this is the Microsoft only place to only talk about exactly vanilla and nothing else. Or even if it isn't bought out, well, then it's, like, really stupid that you can't have any kind of Minecraft discussion where it's like, hey, where do we go? Because, like, now this is a common thing that's just getting millions of views and having massive community influence. So there's no way of getting a community consensus. That's why I'm just saying, like, oh, Reddit is a completely stupid place where you can't find anything. But also, the communities where you're allowed to ask questions, it's also completely stupid as well. So, I was like, hey, what are acceptable vanilla mods? Effectively the same thing. I've been watching these, like, hardcore creators. Especially in, like, Minecraft hardcore. There has to be a meta. There has to be some kind of understanding, maybe a soft consensus as well. I'd like to know that if I'm doing a hardcore challenge, that it would be recognized and accepted. And then most people watching content want transparency. Like, this is actually it. The top comment is the only good comment, and that's actually really nice. So people just want transparency about what is being used. Most quality of life are vanilla plus. So, like, stay in good quality of life, vanilla plus, be transparent about it, and people don't have problems even in hardcore. Fair. But then you find the weirdos that are overpopulating, like, social media and stuff. Why do you care? The narcissism. And that's kind of like the typical Reddit brain rot, where you ask a question and then, like, someone just tries to hijack your question or your discussion with their own stupid opinion for, like, karma farming. If you're not here to answer the question, then screw off. Don't try to get some kind of moral or ideological superiority. You know, just play how you want. That if it was about playing how I want, then I would do that. If that was my care, then yeah. And there's too many people that are also super weird about it. Or just like, I paid for the game, I can do whatever I want with it. Or, oh, play how you want. That nothing else matters because it's what you get out of the experience. Well, clearly my experience is going to be like, hey, I want to make sure that my project or whatever I'm trying to do inside of hardcore or with these mods or in a vanilla setting is actually going to be seen as legitimate. Sorry, I'm not worthless and lie to myself about like, oh, I hacked in rare candies on my Nuzlocke so I can pretend I actually completed this difficult Nuzlocke even though I removed all the difficulty from it. Same thing with these mods, and same thing about finding a meta consensus, where if I'm thinking, oh, that seems a little too strong or it seems a little too broken, but every other person is using that mod or change for their project, then I'm just hurting myself unnecessarily when absolutely no one would care about it. Some people scream bloody murder if you even have so much as sodium installed, which is actually what I would expect from the hardcore community. Like if you're playing Minecraft hardcore, you're doing a hardcore challenge, that should be absolute vanilla. And this is also another problem I have with like creators kind of warping spaces again, having it to where like, oh, yeah, cheating is okay in Pokemon, hacking in rare candies is okay in a Nuzlocke. So it seems to be something that creators in all games and all spaces are doing. They're adding quality of life or making it easier, that way they can complete their challenge and get their millions of views. That I still enjoy Wunba's content, but there are some things where like, I used a dupe, so I'm going to like take away from that. Or sometimes I'll just click off the video. I'll be like, nah, this ain't the challenge. This video is not for me at that point. And again, I don't care about the hardcore gimmick. I just like seeing mega builds or like crazy things people are doing. I also don't really care about 100 days challenges, but that's just kind of the format that everyone's doing now. Either way, like I said, these are becoming like really popular and accepted things. So I want to know, like, yeah, and if the consensus was, oh, actually, the Minecraft hardcore community is pretty hardcore and they don't tolerate anything, I'd like to know that. And then I'd like to think, oh, that means this creator is just kind of exploiting the system and manipulating the audience about it. And if you want to do a true challenge that gets true recognition, then you go crazier, but that's actually not going to get views. So that's why I'm here to ask the question, even though you can kind of get it from the audience, that obviously the general Minecraft community doesn't really care enough to cancel Wunba or to hurt the analytics and retention stats to make it to where these videos don't go hyper, mega, massively viral. But I would like to know, like, oh yeah, but the meta also skews this way because I like optimizing and min-maxing, making sure I'm doing really cool projects. And then trying to give advice, and then this dude trying to give advice I didn't ask for. I encourage you, play how you want. Like, treating me lesser than him, like I have less game experience or I haven't played enough to understand what I want to get out of the game. Just giving me no respect for why I would ask the question to begin with. And again, that's just all of Reddit right now. Just nothing that gives you a clear, unfair advantage. Well, that's very ambiguous, and also why I'm asking the question, because I don't know of all the mods that people use, or if there's actually things that in the hardcore community, there's just like an absolute no, this is way too powerful. I'd like at least a little bit of a red light, green light kind of thing. I also don't know how deep these communities go. Like, is Wunba just kind of a rogue dude that's like, yeah, I make my own projects and I have my own rules and everyone seems to be cool with it? Or if there's actually a meta here, if this is actually hardcore inspired from communities and groups that he's interacted with, and there's actually a deep, massive community of crazy vanilla builders and crazy vanilla projects, and he just floats to the top because that's how YouTube works sometimes. There's just people that get super lucky. But I don't know if there's a deep, large community where there's effectively already a consensus, and that would actually be like really cool if there was a way to get together and have a soft, you know, blacklist, whitelist kind of thing on plugins, and then everyone kind of knows, hey, if you do this, you still get recognized, you can still do a cool project, and that makes Minecraft, one of the largest, most ubiquitous games, more readable for people that actually want to try to do projects. That'd be pretty cool, but you're not allowed to start any of those discussions or create any kind of group or community opening about that, because it's a banned topic, and then everyone else is weird about it. Now, this guy does have a little bit of help. Schematic mods that let you take outlines of builds, personally fine. And then a no-go is going to be illuminating ores in unlit caves. Yeah, that's a little OP. It doesn't say anything about, like, the scrolling, though. And the scrolling, like, faster hypercrafting just seems busted. Now, these replies are the stupid ones that I don't understand. Hardcore is a game mode created for those who enjoy challenging themselves. You make any game rules under this mode, no matter what you do, you still lose your world after you die once. However, if you make it easier, it's no longer a challenge. That's what I mean. I'd expect hardcore to be like, hey, you get as close to vanilla as possible, or else we do not acknowledge it. But then we're still kind of seeing the same thing as Nuzlocke. Nuzlocke were made to make Pokemon a harder game, and then they made it like so crazy with so many rules that's like, oh, now we have to cheat to make it easier again. Or like, yeah, if you hack in rare candies, your Nuzlocke is invalid. That goes against the rules of a Nuzlocke, goes against the spirit of the Nuzlocke, and also just kind of means like, how can you claim you have a challenge when you remove all the difficulty by hacking in like the most important thing? Oh neat, a good recommendation as I was editing the video. I usually use the same mods that Philza uses. If you do mods in the chat, you'll see some performance mods. I just use them, basically FPS and shaders. So yeah, we have an actual hardcore player, and someone I've never heard of, but very popular. 3 million subscribers, crazy viewership on some of these videos. So we have some OG build and challenge content, and then coverage of like the new updates. And again, getting before like a more modern YouTuber era seems pretty purist on the mod list. Now, things did get better on Feed the Beast because we have a more active community, and it's just kind of interesting that, like, oh, the hardcore vanilla community is just super weird about their non-challenges, but then you talk to the modders about, like, the limits of vanilla, and they can really feed you in and fill you in and give you some good examples. However, the upvotes are really weird. So the average person in Feed the Beast is a gatekeeping weirdo. The average person in Minecraft Hardcore is like, yeah, I want to be on this discussion. The only active people are weirdos about it. And then Feed the Beast, like, they suppressed this, but the few replies I got were actually pretty good. Vanilla in this context refers to having no content mods. The add-ons included in your example are client-sided only and will work on vanilla servers. I think that might actually be the answer. That might actually be the sauce, where you just only take those. So if it works on a vanilla server, that's a good starting point, but you also can't straight up use some kind of cheat client-sided mod as well. They are a little weird about it. Why do you view an item scroller mod as removing the challenge from hardcore? That's because, like, you're playing hardcore. You're skipping a massive amount of time and effort for this big mega project that should actually mean something because of the amount of time and effort that you put into it. And then it just seems like they go far beyond natural gameplay, where you just dump all of your items and boom, you get thousands of outputs. It allows you to go way too far beyond human vanilla production. Then we also got some other inputs. I think as long as the stuff doesn't add new content and is only focused on quality of life with limits, it should be fine. So it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of ambiguous, but at least we get a couple of examples. Mouse tweaks, JEI, Wayla, their 3D skin layers, all this fun stuff. So yeah, this stuff makes sense, especially performance-based or anything purely cosmetic. That just seems pretty obvious. That's why my question was more about, yeah, but we start putting in outlines. That definitely makes it easier, and that's definitely going to be like a very beneficial, non-vanilla, huge quality of life. And then we see things like vanilla tweaks, also apple skin, food values, and saturation. Yeah, that seems really good. Shulker box tooltip to see the contents. See, that's not vanilla, but I don't see that as going too far, and that's just like a very nice quality of life, especially when you start getting into the end-game hyper-sorting meta, where you're using mostly shulker boxes for stuff. Overlays, distant horizons for infinite render distance, any complaints for quality of life like that, vanilla tweaks, configuration. Real answers, there's no list you can choose that'll make everyone happy. True. Now the conclusion better not be to just give up then. Some players are absolute purists, and any mods will be considered modded. Some players are very lenient, and will be like, those features should be in the game anyways. That's like the big argument about duping and cheating like that. It's like, well, there isn't a stopgap for having infinite sand or a sand farm, therefore you're allowed to dupe it. I don't have a screen region that goes all the way down to the bottom, but they say, I personally don't see much benefit in the playing vanilla claim, as it doesn't give you any rewards. So kind of just copping out at the end. But if you install mods, there's going to be purists that take away from the achievement. And again, that's why I'm like thinking, oh, but is there something I don't know about? Apparently not. Apparently no one has actually asked this question in the history of Minecraft, despite the billions of views and the millions upon millions of active players and all the content engagement with it. So it just kind of seems like creators just try to get away, like, well, you know, just use the dupe, because how else am I going to get 300,000 string? You're just going to be fine with that, right? The World Eater is so cool, people aren't going to question the infinite TNT duping. As long as I don't really say that I'm duping TNT, the World Eater just looks really impressive. And then I can build my mega base or mine a bajillion diamonds, and then people like my challenge anyways. So this kind of seems like, people, you know, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. It's not that you look for permission as to what people will generally accept. You just fake it till you make it. And that's what I hate about content creation. That's what I was trying to get clarity on. Is like when you see views like this and challenges being respected or hardcore being labeled on things, you want to think, okay, so I guess someone somewhere, the community that's like really into Minecraft has already just kind of gone, yeah, that seems about right. Even though, no, that discussion never happened. It's all, I think maybe that's the conclusion. You would hope that Minecraft is mostly the community of people that actually want to work for their things, but no, they want the skips and they want the shortcuts and they want to pretend that what they did mattered even though they actually like skipped or cheated a little bit to get it. And then with like mod packs and other things, it really seems like all bets are off because there's going to be something jank that you can exploit in any mod pack where like two things overlap, as long as like you're not straight duping or hard glitching. It's like, yeah, oh, they reduced the cost of this, and then I can use it to make that, and that actually goes super cheap, and it's busted. So you can make some really OP stuff with mod packs, and then that makes the challenge a bit more interesting. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we did get some kind of conclusion and something to take away from this video. It's like, if you're trying to play vanilla, and you want to be recognized as vanilla, but you like the quality of life of a mod pack, Minecraft is such a played and mastered game that you can go a little beyond vanilla and have everything be fine, especially again because the devs just straight up allow modding, and modding is a huge part of the game. So, and the community, so you can go a little outside that and still have like that vanilla feel inside of it. It really just seems like, yeah, client-sided, probably the way to go. And then you work on that, and you can just kind of bluff, and then you did your cool mega project. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention, I think building on top of the nether is stupid, and it's extra super duper mega stupid. The devs haven't like patched that out as well. Bedrock is supposed to be the impenetrable limit, and people then also you get like the super duper OP stuff of the nether for extra super free. That's stupid. So game, the devs need to fix some things to make it to where there's less cheating in the game, just inherently and latently, and then you can just kind of stay close to vanilla and maybe feel like you're doing things right. And I think this video kind of explored that more than anything else before, so it's not a completely worthless video. I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoy the video regardless. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.